So I wonder if you can call this daylight, but yeah, this is the point where the darkness peaks, or in other words, this is the darkest it gets. And today, well, if you think it's the next day, you know, when the time passes midnight, then it's the 28th, but this was the 27th, and exactly 1 month after I sowed the seeds. And this is the size of the largest, and I'll give you a further explanation tomorrow when it's daylight again. Well, here's the greenhouse I primarily rebuilt with help from my friends for the project by growing tobacco plants. We just built a stove in it to maintain temperatures at night, since it gets pretty cold here for exotic plants which can't tolerate the climate. But as you know, the plants haven't got big enough yet to be placed outside in the greenhouse, so I'll just show you how far they've come again. So these are 1 liter pots I just filled up with potting soil for repotting the 3 plants that are ready for repotting. That's the potting soil. It's local here, and it's just something I found since I can't find that miracle grow in this country. Okay, now here they are, and I'll give you a further explanation. It's an overcast day today, but I think around 60% of the days have been sunny. So okay, I mean since I sowed the seeds. And the day it is June 28th, and I sowed them on March 27th, so it's exactly a day over a month. But not all of them. That one, this one, and that one are from 1 month ago. And I thinned out these pots, so there was only 1 plant left, as you can see now. 1, 1, and 1. But one of these pots, in one of these cases, one of these pots, I tried to repot the sproutlings I removed in other new pots, and as you can see, that is one of them, and that is one, and that is one. Well, they are growing, but very slow. Although this one seems to be dying. And that one and that one are growing, but very, very slowly. I mean, they are of the same age as that one, and that one. Though that one and that one and that one are from the same age as that one and that one and that one. But they are not originally planted in one pot. They are removed from one pot and repotted in another one. That's obviously repotting the sproutlings does work, but it's obviously it retards the growing process, as far as I see. I'm not gonna play smarter or something, but that's just something I have experienced in this case. Although this particular pot is just something I haven't thinned out yet, but this is not nearly as old. It's probably around 15 days old, or between 20 and 50 days old. And one other interesting phenomenon is what I'm going to show you now. So here are all the biggest and healthiest and yet best surviving plants of the Havanas. This one is way larger than the other 2, as you can tell. Very biggest one. I don't know if the reason can be that this pot is slightly bigger than the other 2, than all the others actually. You can see the pot is slightly bigger than that one. So I don't know if the reason there's more soil in that pot and more nutrients can make a larger plant than from the smaller pots. I would like an answer on that question. I don't know. As for now, I'm just going to replant these 3 in the other pots I showed you outside. I'm going to wait until these plants grow tall. You know, that one, and that one are from one of these pots. They are sproutlings from one of them. And I just replanted them in new pots. Well, this is younger, and I haven't thinned it out as I said. And I just water them by putting a light of water in here when I see the edges of the soil dries out in this aluminum container, and it sucks the moist up and waters them. And it's the same in this case. Just hadn't place for them in the aluminum container, so I just found something like that. Well, since these actually stand on the surface, unlike surf monkey coconut, you did have space in between the water container and the bottom of it, so the tap roots could actually grow in a free space down. I mean, these are standing on the bottom, they aren't hanging in something like yours, so the tap roots can't grow widely down, but you can see them. They are trying to come down. So I think it is time to plant them now. I mean, replant them. So as I stand now in the entrance, in the morning, the sun comes up right there, or behind the mountain outside that wall, and then it travels all the day long like this and sets over there. But as you can see, as you know, it never really sets here now in the summertime. I mean, it's always daylight as I showed you, but not sunshine 24 hours though. So what I do is, in the morning and the early day, I have the plants on this shelf while the sun travels from there in the morning and all the way behind there until around 6 o'clock, when I remove the plants from that shelf and put them in the window of the bathroom, all the way until the sun goes behind that mountain, but it's still daylight. Around midnight, when it's around the darkest, I usually just put them back in on there so they can stand there for the next day. Just goes on and on, as it has done now for a month. If you look at the world map, we can see that Iceland is where my thumb is. And there's Norway, Oslo, the capital of Norway. So Iceland being there, Norway there, and Scotland there. The Faroe Islands are right there. Faroe, as it says on this map. Just those little dots right there. Small islands where I live. So it is pretty north, causing it to be this daylight. It's severe daylight at the summer and eternal darkness with the winter time. And yes, I have acquired this. Thank you again, Mr. Surf Monkey Coconut. So I just want to ask you, is there a possibility for me to save this until next year? If not, I'm just gonna try to set them down this year. And if the planting goes well, I'll just maintain them with artificial lights. But if it's possible to save it until the next year, I will definitely do that. So I'm just asking you. Thank you again. Now here stands the final and replanted product. And I'm just waiting, and yeah, you can see it. I'm just gonna fetch something underneath there to water it from. So that's it. Thank you for your time, and yeah, you'll probably see another video if everything goes well. Now they're 1 month old, and it's 28th of June. Just gotta wait until those are growing big as well, and thin out that tray.